I've got a special gift for you today, Uplevel Dairy leaders. It is 10 minutes of straight talk on leadership and culture directly from one of the greatest minds in the dairy business, Jim Ostrom, CEO, president, and founding partner of Milk Source. What has been his mindset over the past nearly 30 years, from starting with 3 partners and a few cows to running multiple high-performing dairies, business ventures, and a highly professionalized team? Well, grab a pen and paper because these are the power quotes today on the Uplevel Dairy Podcast for dairy farm owners, managers, and advisors who are committed to profitability, sustainability, and excellence. My name is Peggy Coffeen, and it's my mission to bring you the conversations that will uplevel your skill set and your mindset so you can be a top performer in the dairy business. Jim's episode number 34 was one of our top episodes for season 1 of the Uplevel Dairy Podcast, and I'm serving it back to you with some key quotes from Jim on leading ourselves and others, developing a team of executive thinkers, and creating a winning culture. This episode is sponsored by Adiseo, global leader in animal nutrition and premier provider of rumen-protected methionine for dairy producers who want to capture the power of components and maintain the health of their high-performing herd. Enjoy this high-impact message from an entrepreneur, a visionary leader, and a humble philanthropist, Jim Ostrom.
What I think our motivation is that we want to win. And we define winning differently over different eras. You know, there was a period of time where we defined winning as growth, right? Mm-hmm. The industry in Wisconsin was growing fast and everybody's getting enthused and builders were knocking on the door. And we defined winning as growth. And through growth, we got a lower cost of production. Now we define winning as truly refining the business and really perfecting how we work with our animals and how we work with our businesses and cheese, and that's really it's a different mindset. And my advice to anybody that's trying to lead a team is show your people what winning is, and present it to them regularly. And I think that people want to win. They want to be on a winning team. Winning doesn't have to be defined the same for everybody. A lot of people think that leadership is something that is designated upon you. Your title is, you're a leader, right? Or people think you're born into it, or people think it comes with some sort of education. And all that is nonsense. Leadership is an attitude, and it's one of those traits that you do not have to be brilliant, wealthy, high up in an organization to be a leader. You can be the newest employee walking through the parking lot and picking up a small piece of litter as you walk in and put it in your pocket and go throw it away. You can be the a new employee that's learning the best protocol to do a job and to communicate with other people, and exhibiting the leadership to say, I'm going to do it the right way, and I'm going to look for a better way. And that has nothing to do with title. And so leadership is a journey of figuring out how to do it the right way and then lead by example, and also to show other people what winning is. And if you don't have a big title in your organization, or let's say a large responsibility, you can still be a leader by showing fellow team members a better way of doing things. And that's where core grassroots leadership starts, and it's really where it ends. Is you have to be able to culture or set a culture in an organization where people can be leaders. Now, my journey was, and John and Todd and I had a moment about 10 years ago, where we sat in a room one time and we realized that we were no longer involved in every decision in the business. Up until then, we could say, well, we're going to start first crop on this day, or we're going to invest on this farm, and we're going to buy this kind of equipment. And at that point, the business had grown where we're not involved in every decision, every major decision. And so now at that point, we had to develop a team of what I would call executive thinking. And executive thinking isn't wearing a suit. Being an executive isn't wearing a suit. It isn't going into a fancy lobby and up an elevator every day. That's not executive. Executive thinking is a mindset also where you can critically evaluate a situation, collaborate, gather information, and then make a really sound business decision. And whether that's trying a new vaccine or acquiring a new business. And we had to build, and we have built, and we continue to build a team of people that can think in a critical way. I say that with an asterisk because I fail at it. You know, we start out as small business people, and it's hard sometimes to let loose on the reins, but we're doing it. And somebody asked me about succession planning the other day, and I kind of gave them this deer in the headlights look. And it's because we have to do more of it. You know, we've been doing this for a long enough time where it's starting to talk about how's this team looking in the next generation. So culture is like a garden. It requires nurturing constantly. And so there's some days where the garden's struggling and there's other days where the garden is prospering. And this notion that I hear about and I read about and mostly hear about it from younger people is that you need to have a foosball table in the lobby kind of culture, right? And
is that your style, Jim?
That's not my style. No. And I don't believe that's what effective culture is. Effective culture doesn't have to be comfortable all the time. It doesn't mean that we're taking breaks during the middle of the day to take a nap. I mean, I'm sure in some people's culture that's important. I don't believe it's productive, and I don't believe it's important in our culture. What's important in our culture is that we keep investing. And when I say investing, I mean in ourselves. And I don't have it right, and our newest employee doesn't have it right, but collectively, if we invest in ourselves a little bit every day about improving our cultural strength, most days we're going to win. And we have to look at it as a bit of a family. And there's times where the family has some tension, and there's times where the family has moments of joy. And we want to be more on the joy side than tension in a healthy kind of way. Well, we have the milk source way of the day. There are 30 of them, one for each day of the month in general. There's a variety of things that are cultural based. Yeah. So milk source way of the day one, by the way, we pirated this. We did not invent this. Okay, we invented it for our business, but yeah. I stole it from a friend who stole it from somebody else, right? And so no original idea, but our number one milk source way of the day, and one day a month we talk about it, is animal care. The animal has to be the center of what we do. We have to be incredibly respectful at all times to the animal, and we have to meet its needs. We have to let the animal prosper, and in some cases get out of its way, in other cases nurture it, but never disrupt the animal to an uncomfortable position. And that's important culturally. But another one is respect. And if I could sum up my goal for culture is that there's respect. There's respect for each other, respect for improvement, back to we have to be truly great at what we do, cost of production, animal care, etc. Respect for our community. And if we follow that particular milk source way of the day, respect, we'll go a long way. I'm not perfect at it, and nobody in our company is, but we kind of look at it as, I'm not saying to somebody, you be respectful. I'm saying, I want to focus on my level of respect. And I want to focus on my intensity around animal care. I want to be focused on safety, and I want to think about it affirmatively. We've all known families that are very strong culturally. They support each other. They're winning as a family. And we certainly, unfortunately, know groups of people that are disrespectful, destructive, caustic to each other. It's a bad culture. We think culture is a decision that you can make to invest in for the future and for today. And it's something that you as a human being can decide. Am I going to be investing in a respectful culture, or am I going to be denying it? So who's the most important person in our whole company? And that is, it's our newest and least experienced employee. Somebody who just walked in the door that's just starting. And that person is most important. And the reason why is we have to bring them into our team. We have to show them our culture. We have to make that person part of our culture and show them our way. Show them how much we care about animals, how much we care to respect each other, and bring them in, because that's how our organization will win, is by having people that are passionate and follow the same general cultural guidelines that we try to follow. Our industry has a lot of stresses. It's got weather stress. It has commodity market stresses. It has regulatory stresses. It has pricing stresses, right? Last year was a great year. This year looks like it's going to be a pretty rough one. And my hat's off to the people in the industry at all sizes and all places, because this is a tough business, but it's also a very rewarding one. And our industry is different than so many others. I'm in a business peer group where they do not have, there are people in town with car dealerships, or they manufacture machinery parts. They do not have the passion that our industry does. Our industry is truly blessed. We're multi-generational, right? We're here forever. And we raise our kids to raise their kids as farmers. And it's a special industry because of that. And I think it's a blessing, even in the tough times, to be a part of it.
Leadership, culture, creating a winning team. I hope you have enjoyed this message from Jim Ostrom, CEO, president, and founding partner of MilkSource. Share it with a friend, and better yet, leave a podcast review for this episode. And thank you to our sponsor, Adiseo, a global leader in animal nutrition and premier provider of rumen-protected methionine for dairy producers who want to capture the value of components and maintain the health of their high-performing herds. And if you love all things dairy and are looking for more podcasts to follow, check out our friends at the Dairy Voice Podcast. From our cow show lovers, tune in to Tim Abbott and Mike Duckett for the Evolution of the Great Cow series. And Connie Cooper recently got the scoop from Krista Harden on U.S. Dairy Export Council activities in Mexico. Find Dairy Voice on all of your favorite listening platforms, and tune in to the Uplevel Dairy Podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and YouTube.